Hello, friends and fellow seekers of the good, true, beautiful. It's Mike here, and this is a novel update. Well, we are well on our way. The response so far to the first two books in my novel series, Gideon's Dawn and Waymaker, has been just fantastic so far. I'm so grateful for all of you who have already picked up the books, who have already begun to read the books, especially for those of you who have posted reviews on Amazon and on Goodreads. It is so gratifying to me to be able to read your comments, your thoughts, your feedback on the books. It's been wonderful to see at last the story be a conversation that's not just me in a little corner somewhere writing about this story, but to actually begin to have a dialogue with people out there who are also reading the story, experiencing it for themselves, and sharing with me and with one another how it's impacting them or how they're enjoying it, or getting to know the characters along with me and having conversations about them. That's just really, for me, the most exciting part of this entire process. It's been fantastic. So I want to make several pretty big announcements today. So maybe grab a piece of paper because there's going to be some stuff you're going to want to capture down for future reference. First of all, I want to tell you officially right now that the first two books, Gideon's Dawn and Waymaker, are both fully available now in paperback and in ebook. I'll include links for those below, so you can go get your copies now and order them on Amazon. The audiobook for both Gideon's Dawn and Waymaker are in process. They're on their way. Gideon's Dawn should be up very shortly and available on audiobook. Waymaker is going to be a little bit behind that, but should be up pretty soon. And of course, for the second two books, they're also in process and will be up before too long. I'll keep you posted on that. But in celebration for the official release of Gideon's Dawn and Waymaker, I'm announcing today the start of a brand new giveaway. And I'm very excited about this and want to tell you how you're going to get it. So first of all, what the giveaway is a bonus chapter, you could call it, some bonus material written by Corintha Asher Bale. For those of you who don't know, Corintha is a character in the book who kind of operates as an historian. She is a character in the book that we see unfold through the story. She has her own arc. She matures and she grows and she changes through the story. And one of the things she ends up doing in the process is she becomes a recorder of the events in the novels. And as a part of that, she has written quite a lot about the history of the lands where the stories take place. And she wrote an entire chapter about the origins of the world in which the story takes place. And one of the things we find out as we get into the story is that many of the people that we encounter in the narrative have forgotten about the origin story of their world. They've forgotten about a lot of the lore that actually originated many of the creatures that they encounter, many of the sentient races that they encounter. And this remains a mystery through a big part of the book. But she writes in this chapter that you get as a bonus the full explanation for how the world was created, how these sentient races came to be, and the story behind that. So as it implies, this bonus material does contain some spoilers. It doesn't ruin the whole story, but it does contain some spoilers, so you want to be careful of that. But I want to offer this to anyone who buys either Gideon's Dawn or Waymaker starting today all the way up until September 30th. So this is going to be weeks and weeks that's available to anybody. And all you have to do to get that bonus chapter is to purchase either Gideon's Dawn or Waymaker and then take a snapshot of the receipt. So this can be as simple as just looking at, when you get the email that says you purchased the book, or you get to that little email that says you got it, and just take a snapshot of that on your phone and then attach that to an email. Make sure it's an attachment, or else my little system won't recognize it as being this particular email. So attach it to an email and then send it to pearlsongrefounding@gmail.com. pearlsongrefounding@gmail.com. That's the email. I'll put that below as well. And in the subject heading, just write the word giveaway. Just write the word giveaway. And when you send that, the attachment with the subject heading giveaway, and you send that to pearlsongrefounding@gmail.com, I will send you a link to download this bonus chapter, which is written by Corintha Escher Bale from her book called Beginnings. And it's really the opening chapter of that book where she describes the founding of the world, in which all of the action takes place in this series of novels. So that's going to be available starting today, all the way through September 30th. And very excited about sharing that with all of you. Yeah, that's one of the big announcements. So please take advantage of that. The next time you get a copy of Getting Done a Waymaker, or you send it to a friend or anything like that, just make sure and send that email in and get that piece of bonus material, and I'll be happy to share it with you. The second thing I want to tell you is that the second two books, which are The Song That Shatters and The Word That Prevails, are at this moment available on Amazon for pre-order. So you can go, and I'll put the links for that below as well. You can go right now onto Amazon.com and purchase both The Song That Shatters and The Word That Prevails, and get it for pre-order so that when it releases, you will immediately get access to the ebook version of those books. That release date, and this is my official announcement for all of you, the official release date for both The Song That Shatters and The Word That Prevails will be Tuesday, December 2nd. So it's coming out just in time for Christmas, just in time for the winter break, just in time for that time of year when you want to cozy up with a book by a fire and just explore some other world. And this will be a great experience, a great example of something, a great thing you can do during those holiday days, those holiday times when you want to just relax with a book. This will be a great experience to do that. So mark your calendars for December 2nd. Go today and go ahead and get those books on pre-order. Pre-order is such a great way to help the book begin to get visibility, to help both books get visibility, to help create buzz for the books. So it's a great gift to me if you go ahead and pre-order them now. Great gift for the series if you want to help promote it to other people, but also just to make sure that you don't miss it when it comes out, that you don't even have to think about it. Just go ahead and buy them, and then it'll be delivered right to your ebook as soon as they come out on December 2nd. The print versions will also be available on December 2nd. And as I mentioned before, the audiobooks, my plan right now is they will be available on that day. Those of you that have done any kind of work in publishing know, the audiobook process is much more involved, so it might be a little longer, but we're hoping for that date to be the date that the audiobooks also come available. And as always, I just want to say thank you for all the reviews that have come out. We're shooting for 100 reviews for Gideon's Dawn and 100 reviews for Waymaker by the time the second two books come out. That is the magic number that Amazon has designated as the number that allows them to bump the books up in the search engine when people search for fantasy, when they search for fantasy books, when they're looking for a new read. So we're aiming for 100 reviews so that new people can find these stories and when they're searching for a new book to read. So help us out by just going to the Gideon's Dawn and the Waymaker pages and writing your reviews there to help us get to that 100 review mark by the time the second two books come out, which again will be on December 2nd. And that's going to be a great help for just the entire series. And I'm really going to be so appreciative of that for everyone who does that. And when you do a review, you don't have to, I'd love it if you give a detailed review, but it's okay if you don't. If you just want to say, love the books, recommend them, great read, whatever you want to say in there that will help just have another voice in the crowd just saying, this is something worth reading. That would be helpful for us. And of course, if you have some critique of it, that's okay too. Not every review has to be 5-star. That doesn't make sense. So certainly some people are not going to have a totally 5-star review of the books, but just having honest reviews is really helpful for any book. And I greatly appreciate that very, very much. And so just want to wrap up today by just saying thank you, thank you, thank you. It's been a terrific experience so far, and I'm very excited about the coming months. There'll be more giveaways. There's merch to talk about. I have more videos coming out where I'll begin to talk more about the lore of the worlds. There's a whole new giveaway happening later that involves the magic system of the world. There's all kinds of stuff coming. So stay tuned to this if you're watching it on YouTube, if you're watching it on Substack. Be sure to subscribe here, subscribe wherever you're watching this to keep up with future videos. And do spread the word. If you like the story, tell other friends about it, and encourage them to subscribe as well. Help us get the word out. Word of mouth is always the best way to share a story like this with other people, and I really appreciate any help you can give along those lines. So thanks very much. Hope you have a beautiful week, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Have a good one, guys.